Simone, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now you're originally from Texas.
Yes.
So welcome to New York.
Thank you.
And I can tell, like, you got energy because it is freezing outside, but here you are, stunning, not fazed by the cold.
No. No. I knew it was coming. Not getting me.
But it's not going to slow down the outfit. It's not going to slow down the look. Not at all. Well, so listen, congratulations. You are making big moves happen.
Thank you.
And for a lot of us, we know you from the big screen, right? We see you act. We see you do your thing in that capacity. But you are here today as a singer, as an artist, as an artiste.
Come on.
Come on.
All of that.
Okay, and now you put out your body of work, Magnet, which is
Yes.
available right now. Okay, so what do you like doing more? Be honest. Acting, singing, because I feel like there's always going to be one that's a little bit, near and dear to your heart a little bit more.
I think the true crack of it to me is the storytelling.
Okay.
And those are just so prominent in both. I know it's not the
Don't
one or
play
the
me,
other
Simone,
answer.
come on.
I know. I mean, just getting lost in a character is so phenomenal and so special to me. But to be in the driver's seat as an artist and get lost in yourself, I think is really, really special too. I can't choose, honestly.
So let's picture this. It's a moment. You can have either the biggest blockbuster
Okay.
or you're walking away with a Grammy. What do you do, Simone, in this moment?
I know.
And if you don't pick, the world ends. That's
Oh my
kinda how
God.
dramatic this is.
Like my family. I would walk away.
You would walk away from what?
I would walk away with my Grammy, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would.
Wow. Why? Tell me.
I feel like music is in the fabric of who I am. And so I without music, I think I would be miserable.
That's a bold statement. How has music, I guess, prepared you or given you that comfort that you've needed to not be miserable? Like how? Why? Why has it been so important to you?
I've always been drawn to it. I
Sure.
think that's a theme of magnet, of just like pulling, of something just calling you from outside of yourself. And that's always been music. It's a way that my family and I speak to each other. It's the way that I've spoken to myself and talking myself off some ledges. So.
What does that song sound like when you talk yourself off that ledge? Are you, making up things on a go like, Simone, keep it together? Like, what does that sound like? Get us in your head a little bit.
You're right. I mean, honestly, it's like the stories in my songs.
Yeah.
Like, example, Circles is about this guy who really was a liar. And I found out and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I'm out, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? Just let me explain myself. And I was like, okay, explain yourself. And he literally just talked in circles. So like having me be able to just have that experience with myself and be able to walk away from that situation and kind of console and figure out what in the actual F just happened
Right.
in there. But I didn't have to be like, well, I could just walk away from that.
What kind of lies?
It was with somebody else. I know, gasp.
Wait, and how did you find out? Give us
This is
some, help
tea,
us.
actually.
Help us.
This is crazy.
This might help the next person.
Actually, you know what? It was definitely a God situation because I'm very trusting. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm whatever. I'm like, also I'm just so busy. I'm just like, I don't
Yeah.
got time. I need somebody grown and just lovely so I can just be myself.
Yeah.
But I was at actually a watch party for one of my shows. And I was like, oh my God, hey girl, like what's going on? She was like, da 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 da. I started talking to this new guy and it was like, here. And I was like, oh, if you did that before, like just heads up, I'm dating him right now. Right. When she was like, oh my God, her face like flushed. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like whatever happened before, it doesn't matter. I just want to let you know, just you don't want to kiki in my face. I don't do that. And she was just like, oh, I just didn't. I was like, do you mind telling me the timeline of this and this? And she was like, basically like last week or like 2 weeks ago. I said, okay. and they went somewhere, and I was like, literally gasp. I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, it's cool, no problem. Send me the hotel booking information. And then I sat on it until I wanted to say something about it.
How did you say it?
Story.
This is insanity right now.
This is the story. I was like, he was coming back from the work thing, and I was like, he was like, I'm gonna come over. I was like, no, you had such a long day. I'm gonna come over. It'll be wonderful. Da 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 da. I feel like I kissed him as normal. Like, I'm crazy thinking back at this. We really just talked, da, 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 and we were like finished with the day. I was like, wow, I'm so happy I found somebody like in LA that I trust. Da, 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 da. Like somebody, so, da, da. I know, I'm so true actor.
Oh, this is good.
And he was like, yeah, like I want to be that. Da, 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 da. I was like, yeah. And you were at your mom's house over here, right, during this day? Because I want to give him a chance to either tell the truth or just be honest with me. And he was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, he doubled down on the lie.
Down. I was like, my stomach dropped. I was sick. I was like, wow, that is so funny.
And then what? You pulled out like...
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, you mind telling me about this? And I like piled the book up, and he was like, no. I said, no. No, what do you mean no? And he was like, like, that's somebody else's information. I said, oh, perfect.
Right.
I have her permission and her on the phone too, if you want to talk about it. Just so you know, it's not private. Go ahead. And then he's like,
this is stuttering.
I got my stuff up and I left. And then he was like, let me explain myself. And I was like, okay.
Go ahead. Circles.
Woo! I know, but that's honestly, I've had really, really great men experiences. So that was like the one where I was like, I didn't know y'all lied like this.
Oh, yeah. It could get diabolical.
Right? But I was like, I'll never do that again.
Now, for Magnet, you talked about it being a reflection of your experiences in LA.
I really like it because I love the beach. I'm a beach girl. And the community I've built out there and making music, I've found people who I start to love working with and people who get me, and everyone is just there other than New York.
Right.
Everyone being here.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like I've really built my community here because I grew up acting on this side.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So have you found love in LA? Like right now, are you in love?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in love with life and what it means.
Sure.
But
okay.
no, I'm not in love right now.
Do you think love is going to find you out there? Is this going to be one of your experiences? We're going to hear a song about it? Or...
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like love has found me in so many different ways. Sometimes it just is not forever. In those ways.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very happy to hold on tightly, let go lightly in that situation. But I feel like maybe I might need to travel. I might need to go somewhere.
Where are we traveling to? Let's manifest
I
this.
want to go to Italy.
It's amazing. Have you been to Italy before?
No, I've never been.
You'll have fun.
Really?
It's fun.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm a foodie. I love to eat. So, listen. You like to eat, Italy's a great place to go. Absolutely. Katrina, would you agree when we went?
Okay.
Food, top tier.
Really? You had a good time?
Great time. The food, like, I'm a foodie. Like, I need to go places where I know I can eat and feel like I can eat peacefully and I'm not being judged because I like to eat. So that's what I felt there. So that's
funny.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me know how you experience it. I'm so curious to know.
Like, I gotta get your number. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, please. Because of course there's Rome, which you're gonna get more cultural feeling. It's just more ancient, right? Versus like Milan, which is all fashion. And it's like, think of like Soho, New York. Like that's the kind of vibe that I feel. So you could get a range of vibes and feelings. And, you never know who you're going to meet on your travels.
Exactly. So I'm not like, oh, he's got to be in LA or, something. I'm like, I'm very flexible.
Yeah. We'll go with the flow.
Love comes looking for me all the time. I'm like, I need a break.
So how are you treating yourself, like, as far as taking care of yourself, right? Because you are booked and busy. We know all the stuff that you do on the big screen. And putting a project together in the middle, in between, are you resting? Are you taking care of yourself? Or are you in your zone right now? It's back to back. Listen, I get the grind. It's on to the next thing.
My first time I gave myself a break from acting was in between season 1 and season 2 because I knew I was getting it.
Okay. Oh, you're talking for Bel-Air,
for
just
Bel-Air.
for people listening. Yeah,
Sorry,
for Bel-Air, the
Bel-Air.
reboot. Yeah.
Yes. And so I went to Greece with my mom and I studied yoga for a month.
Wait, this doesn't sound like a vacation now. You studied yoga for a month.
You're right. I don't know. I love building a skill. Like that is
Yeah.
my learning is my rest.
I love
So,
this.
yeah, if I'll sit down and yeah, I feel like sitting is not restful to me.
Huh.
And
Okay.
even probably more so learning to sit with myself and be still after my yoga
Yes.
training and learning to just enjoy the rest periods. Because, as an artist, it's very go, go, go.
Yes,
Something's not
yes.
happening. Sometimes you feel like you're falling behind or you're not doing enough. So that was just a big blessing in my life, learning about rest. And then as an athlete, I've been an athlete my whole life.
Wait, what
Active
sports?
rest. Volleyball, track, and basketball.
Not to put someone on blast, Katrina grabbed the mic. She
Hey,
believes she's an
okay.
athlete in her heart.
Nessa, you always say believe. You got to preface it. I think once you're an athlete, right?
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's true. That's
Okay,
fair.
Simone, let's be honest, okay? Okay, Katrina played basketball in high school.
Okay.
I did.
What was your all-time high, Katrina?
Nessa, okay, let me preface this by saying girls, high school basketball doesn't score as high typically.
Oh,
We're scoring like
yeah.
50 points total for the game, okay?
Okay, so what was your
I scored
all-time-
13. That is 10, 20, a fifth of
That's
the
a good
team's
run.
points.
That's a good run.
Oh, Simone, you're so sweet.
I was a pass first guard. Come on, all right? Thank you.
Okay, wait, I love
my
this.
God.
What sport do you love playing the most? Or which one did you show off the most in where you're just like, yeah, no, that was me all day. This is what I do.
Track.
Yeah.
I ran the 400 and the 4x4.
Okay, wait. So when the Olympics come around, are you glued in? Are you dialed in watching?
Definitely watching. It actually, since playing Lisa on Bel-Air and
Yeah.
her dreams of being an Olympian,
Yeah.
it's actually kind of tunes me in even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just watching them and knowing how much work, even just a piece of how much work goes into the 1 to 5 races that they even do.
What kind of work goes behind it? I'm just so curious. I have no idea. Like,
Yeah.
what does that hard work look like?
Yeah, so 400 is one lap around the track. So you want to make sure you're training. So that's like a weird sweet spot between being a sprinter
Right.
and like a long distance endurance racer. So we're doing both workouts. We're doing the 100, 200 sprints, which I'm dead last, but
It's okay.
but being and also running the 800s and the miles, knowing that so when you get there for the 400 and the 4x4, you are not tired. You are running. You are sprinting that entire thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Like top speed all the way through?
I mean,
Oh my goodness.
or just a little bit less, like maybe the 85, but there's no time. There's no time. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about, I don't know, chasing those dreams of being an Olympian and just
No, not at all. I mean, I think I had, I was flirting with Bel-Air for a little bit, but then I was like, be real, Simone Joy Jones. Like, I love to play basketball. I love the game and I love to watch, but honestly, that's not what I was doing for the rest of my life.
it's a different commitment. At least you were able to realize that.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's because you have so much love and tell me if I'm wrong, admiration and respect
Yes.
for the different kinds of grinds that you have to do behind things. Because I think a lot of times when someone's like watching the Olympics, like they don't understand the training that goes behind that. You know, we're spectators watching, but we don't like those. It's a grind day in, day out. But you are grinding in a different way, right? You're focusing on your artistic side when it comes to music and acting. And I mean, a lot is happening for you right now. I do want to talk about you playing Lisa on the show Bel-Air
Let's
on
do it.
Peacock. Okay, so initially, what did you think about joining the reboot, right? Because it could get a little dicey sometimes with reboots and you want to be, you know, mindful and respectful of the original show. Did you have hesitations?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially the reverence and respect I have for the original.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, why would we redo the best show ever? Like,
Right.
what's wrong? What's wrong? But I had remembered seeing the trailer that Morgan Cooper put out, and I remembered being like, oh, that would be cool. And so to have it come around and be in front of me, and I was like, I don't know. They were like, no, read the script. And the script really just had me floored and had me be like, okay, this is something I want to be a part of. And then, you know, a couple rounds of auditions. But finally, what really got me was the meeting with Morgan Cooper and TJ Brady. And they were telling me, it was like a date. I was like, tell me your intentions with this show, because I'm not just signing on and cooking myself for the rest of my career, you know? Mm-hmm. But they just took such care of it, and they really saw the story, and Will Smith was a part of it too. So I was like, who am I to stand in the way of this? So I've been pleasantly surprised over and over again, and very comfortable. And even people ask, like, was it the pressure, you know, going before? But it didn't feel like it, because we were like, we really are taking care of it. And so there's no part of it that can be skewed in the way that we didn't do our part in the love and reverence for it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you play Lisa.
Yeah.
The storyline for Lisa was different, you know, than the original. Because in the reboot, Lisa dated Carlton before Will. Mm-hmm. That was a twist. that was a bit of a twist. What did you think? Were you just like, okay, we're getting a little spicy?
I was shocked. I was so shocked. I was like, this is what we're doing?
Okay.
I was like, okay.
All right, reboot. Let's go then.
It was really funny. But truly having it be a reimagining, and everything about this Lisa is different. We meet her younger. We meet her having completely different aspirations, and also being we also pay a lot more attention to her in a way, and her hopes and dreams and fears, and that kind of in a way that we hadn't before with Nia Long. But I hope to stay close to the energy as much as I could that she brought, because
for sure,
Nia's everything. She's everything.
Nia Long is, yes, everything.
She's everything.
Did you have a chance to talk to her at all, to talk about how she played Lisa, or get any insight, or, you know, behind the scenes information?
I know nothing.
Oh,
I know. But Tatiana Ali has been so lovely when she was on set, and just hearing about her experience. I mean, she was an open book, and seeing her at different events was just a blessing. Like, everyone who's been a part of the show has just opened themselves up completely. So yeah, so I'll get to her. I'll get to her. Yeah. But I have been definitely cradled by the original cast members in a beautiful way.
Did you have a chance to talk to Will Smith?
Yes.
Oh, wait. What was the conversation, and what did you do? And were you like, wait, what's happening right now?
Yeah, I've met him a couple times. Not enough to like feel completely casual yet, but like enough to be like, you know, when I see him.
I love that. Not to feel casual yet.
Right. Not enough, not first name basis vibes, but enough to where will he be coming? He'll be like, Simone. I'll be like, ah! So that makes just my heart so happy. But what I love about Will Smith is he is just an incredible listener. And I've been a student to all his work, his movies, his music. Like, I know Big Willie style and Lost and Found top to bottom. But I've met, you know, a lot of people in the industry, but there's very few people who sit down and listen to you stutter and listen to what you really are wanting. And he just opens himself up in a way that I don't think he ever has to, you know.
Oh, for sure.
And so I'm so grateful for all my time with Will Smith. He's a lovely person.
You know what? Hearing that is so interesting. One, there's been a saying that you should never meet your idols, or just people that you admire in general, especially in the entertainment industry. Because listen, you could be very disappointed, right?
Yeah.
So hearing this experience for you, I'm happy.
Thank you.
Because you just don't know, right? Yeah. How people are going to be. You might catch them on a bad day. You might not. But also, Will Smith, the superstar, the legend that he is, And the fact that he's that dialed in to listen and care, I don't know. It's just it's nice to hear that. We don't really hear that often about superstars.
I know, superstars.
Right.
Yeah.
It's different, and how far his career is, and just he doesn't have to, but he still does, and looking out for, upcoming talent. And I don't know, I think that's special.
I think so too. And just when he's on set, very few times, but just come and just sit and talk with us. And then, if he's here and we're here, like the circle gets a little bit closer, like, all right, guys, like,
relax.
Let him breathe a little bit, which is so funny. I'm like, this cannot be your life, your experience. But even seeing him out, and I feel like a really special time was the Bad Boys premiere, his premiere. He brought us all on the carpet, the Bel-Air cast, and he was like, come be my friend. And we're like, Martin Lawrence?
The Martin Lawrence?
And he was like, come, look, Simone, da-da-da-da. Come here, and like made sure we could be close. So like that's the type of person that he is. So
that is so rare. Is there anything that he said or shared that continues to be an inspiration for you?
Prince. Well, one, I think his stories are so fun to listen to. When he was talking about in the 90s when they were filming, everyone came to audition on set. So they would just sit outside and, watch Halle Berry, somebody come in and watch them audition, or like, wait outside.
That's crazy.
Casting is right there.
Right.
So, him talking about that is so cool. And talking about the fashion and stuff, and hearing him like look back and giggle is really cute. I'm like, hey, Will Smith, you don't giggle.
Yeah.
Like, what's going
what
on?
are you doing? Yeah.
But he was talking about timing, I think, and making sure to capitalize on what you have and advocating for your own momentum. Like he was yes, right?
I like that.
Talking about how he was releasing Summertime with Jazzy Jeff during one of the like couple of minutes in he worked it into the show for Fresh Prince, and how that propelled a lot of his career, and doing that and making sure when he wasn't working on music, he was working on a movie. And so and then Coco was like, well, what about rest? And he was like, So I think rest is still a question mark. But
We'll revisit.
We'll revisit, but learning how to just keep going and take care of yourself and get in where you fit in, and it really does matter.
I like that timing.
Yes.
That's why I asked about the rest thing, because the energy I'm feeling from you is you're focused. You have a vision, right? And rest usually falls to the wayside.
Yeah.
So that's just part of the game. But I feel like, if anything, you've done really well in the sense that you took a month off but you were also really working on yoga. But that's important, And so I'm glad that he was able to share that. It's something we can all, be reminded of for sure. Because there's a moment and you're capitalizing on it right now.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing great.
Thank you.
Of
I
course.
appreciate that.
It's a marathon.
Yes. Yeah.
How is your long distance running again? Did you say, can you run long distance?
I don't love it. I don't love doing it, but for the 400, you had to train for like the...
You're training.
Yeah.
Right? This
exactly.
is it.
Training. Okay.
You're still... This is part of it.
Exactly. Training.
So Coco Jones, how is that experience? Because on the show, you don't really interact, obviously, with each other.
Yeah.
But you have been on the road with her. And so how's that dynamic? And have you absorbed any of her gems that she's shared with you?
Absolutely. She's a lovely person, genuine to her core. I feel like we're both Southern girls, or just people who just don't
play.
We don't. Like you're talking about LA and like people smiling in your face. We just don't do that.
Yeah.
And so at first we was like, okay, the more time that we spent, we were like, I like you, and I've always been a fan of her. and to watch her blossom in the way that she has been so lovely. So I was incredibly blessed because, you know, you never know, like, okay, we are friends. I don't want to hurt that by being on the bus, you know, but also this is a cool opportunity for me, you know, so having her just be like, do what you want to do, be yourself, open up. I was like, great. So I got to open up for her tour. Which was so exciting, especially knowing my love and for the music and her hearing it and being like, I believe in you. I was like, that is so cool, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you don't expect your friends to believe you first, I guess. You know, it's... Yeah. So,
and you also don't want to push that boundary.
Exactly.
Right. You want to be respectful. Like, one, it's like you guys know each other in a professional setting, but also now you formed a friendship. But then it's like, do you cross those boundaries?
Exactly. And real friends are hard to come by.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, I know I can. My career will grow and blossom on its own.
Right.
We don't need to have.
Yeah.
Having each other is a blessing, but
sure.
not a like necessity.
Yeah.
I guess. So that being said, on the bus and having her let me sit there and watch in like meetings or just the way she handles herself and the way that she finds rest in between. She's doing probably 2 interviews before the show.
Wow.
And then
Good
we
for her.
travel. So she is lovely and she is a businesswoman.
Oh, tell me more about
core.
that. Like, what makes you, I don't know, what makes you say that? Like, because, you know, it's so cool to hear the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Again, on the outside, we're looking at, you know, you're doing this and that. We're thinking that you have millions of people around you. Your team is handling everything. Someone else, the manager's making the decision. So hearing you say that about Coco, what stood out to you?
She is always thinking ahead and she's thinking about her brand and she's also thinking about how to keep herself safe in balancing all of that.
You know, it's one of those things like, hey, I want the deal points on paper, right? Like how, when you say she's like a businesswoman, I that's what I'm picturing. Like, hey, no, send that over an email. We'll discuss. Like,
Right. I'm very much very warm and I want everyone to be friends. And she's like, that doesn't have to be the case.
Oh,
you know?
wow. She's good.
She's really good.
I wish I had that skill set.
But learning that early of just having to build boundaries around yourself and with other people has been and not with anything, not with disdain or being rude. She navigates that really, really well. And she knows the value of a photo versus a meeting versus a contract. And just to learn that in a space where you know somebody has your back for real has been just so lovely.
Whew, that's hard.
Okay.
That's a skill set I wish I had. Good for her. Okay, I feel like you have learned a lot.
Oh my gosh, yes.
From so many incredible people.
Yeah.
Who's the one person that shared a lesson or advice with you that you felt like, okay, I really needed this information?
The person who plays my dad on the show, he's a very like by the book like guy. Like
there's
if
no
I'm
funny
like,
business.
Woo, there's no funny business. He's like very straight lines.
Yeah.
And he was saying, because we were talking about input from the show or just like perception, you know, as an actor, you have some of it is information that's useful for you. A lot of it's not. And so he was saying that if you take all the good, you have to take all the bad. So he was like, take none of it. And at first I was like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
And I was like, wait a minute. When I started letting everything in, but not letting it kind of touch me, you know, not personally affect me, or just being like, all the praise is like cool, but it's not like something that I like feed off of and let build me up.
Right.
So at the same time, the bad, it can't break me down. If there is, you know.
I heard someone say, I don't remember where I heard it, but basically you're never as great as they say you are, but you're never as bad as they say you are.
Interesting.
So it's a very kind of, take it for what it is.
Yeah.
If you're going to let them gas you up,
Right.
then they're gonna control bringing you down.
Exactly.
Ultimately. And it's a hard place to be, to find balance of, also being appreciative for the good, right? Like you want to show your appreciation for all like the love and admiration that comes in, but it's also like, I gotta stay here. I can't always be high, because that's not life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do you go to give you the real?
I feel like I only keep people around me who will give me the real.
Yeah.
Actually, my Bel-Air cast is a humbling cast.
I like how you put that, a humbling cast.
They would be like,
Really?
that wasn't it, or this is it, or Ollie Shulaton, of course Coco, and Jordan L. Jones are really like very objective people who I find so much love and happiness with.
Yeah.
But also my parents.
Yeah.
Such lovely people.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not very objective because they're like, they're jealous of you, parents. And I'm like, they are, aren't they? Like, I'm like, oh,
But they have a point. Let's be real.
And I'm like, is everyone jealous? Like, no.
Okay.
No, they're very much biased for me,
love
where I'm
this,
like, I
Simone.
have to get advice from somebody else because you love me too much.
But me speaking as a parent, I agree with them.
Yeah.
Like, I have a daughter, and I'm like, that's it. That's how I'm going to look at life. So I really understand how your parents feel.
Yeah. They're like, that must be the answer.
They're jealous of you.
Jealous. And I'm like, must be. That was growing up, when I was like, just navigating the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, just my community. And I feel like having experts in each field has helped me a lot too. Knowing who to go to for what advice has been really, really nice.
How about love advice, right? You're about to do a song, you feel heartbroken. Do you ask anyone for love advice? Do you have your go-to best friend or go-to best cousin, anybody that you're just like, they see through it all? Or are you that person for your friends?
Oh, I'm very much that person for my friends, for sure.
Interesting. Okay.
For sure. They'll call and I'll be like,
It sounds funny. It sounds like they might not be.
I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you make your own decisions and I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
But this is what I think.
So if your friend, let's say you were out and one of your best friends, you see them getting cheated on, right? Like you see their boo out with somebody else. Do you confront them? Do you tell your best friend, like, hey, I saw your so-and-so having dinner with somebody else? Or do you just keep that in the tuck because...
No, I don't think I would ever keep it in the tuck.
You know what? I'm with you 100%, but I've had many people say, I don't want to get involved because if they get back together or if they work it out, then now I'm the friend that's on the outs. And I'm like, no, if you see your best friend getting cheated on.
Right. No. Then I'm a big fan of information. Right?
Yes,
if you have all the information, then you could do with what you please.
Right.
But I'll make sure you have all the information.
Yeah.
And then depending on how good of a girl we are, I'm like,
What we
like,
doing?
I mean, cheating on is hard to like, all right, we don't have to go back.
Right.
But if you want to learn that lesson on your own and through the trial, okay. But there's some things we don't have to learn through trial.
Yeah, that's one.
Right. That's
For sure.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah, but, and I understand people being like, oh, I don't know if we'll be friends anymore. I'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fine with me.
So you would want your friend to tell you if somebody was cheating on you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Would you need evidence? Like, would you need, hey, take photos, send me some proof? Like,
For the key, but not, I feel like if they're my friend telling, I would believe them 100%.
Right
I
away.
would believe them over a guy.
yeah.
100%.
What if your best friend did not like the guy you were dating? Just because, like, they give vibes. Like, it's like, weird, strange vibes.
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation? Do you...
I go, but I'm going to drive the boat anyway. You going to be here or what? Or I can be like, okay, you're right. And then we can figure it out.
Right.
But I like him. I don't know. I feel like I have been in that situation. She'd be like,
Really?
girl. And I'll be like, I do want to find out. But rarely if I put feelers out about what do you think, and they go, I don't know. I'm usually okay. I'm off it.
Yeah.
I don't need to learn through trial.
Yeah. It's okay. We don't need trials.
Right.
We're past that at that point.
Right. I'll have a little funeral in my mind of like, wow, the life we could have lived, and then let it go.
You gotta let it go.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. Block them all.
Exactly.
You know, there's a saying about blocking though. Some people think you should not block people you don't like or exes because you want them to see the glow up.
Yeah, I feel like you can watch if you want to. I will definitely unfollow.
Of course,
but block just feels like
excessive.
Or I feel like whenever like I start to dislike somebody, which is very rare, I feel like if it gets to a point where I'm thinking about them a lot, I feel like I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No,
girl,
I don't
you're
like
obsessed with them. Like, relax. So I feel like blocking makes me feel a little obsessed.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. But I get it though.
But it's like, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm like, but also I feel like, yeah, just come see what I'm doing. You just can't be a part of it.
Yeah, look at the glow
But you can
up.
see if you'd like.
Yeah, look at me doing yoga. Look at me traveling. Look at me, putting my projects out, and I'm doing it all.
Yeah,
That's
it's nice.
Has any of your exes hit you up with all the success? You put Magnet out. Anybody contact you like, I know that song is about me. Yes, they have.
I feel like anybody who is around me knows that success is just a byproduct of who I am. So it's not like, oh, I knew it. Like they knew if they knew me when I was 6, that it was going to go this way and better. I think the punishment is not being a part of it.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
How old were you when you realized this is what you wanted to do?
I very, very early. My mom sang in choir, and that just lit me up in a way that I hadn't felt before. I was always watching music videos with my dad, and then when I saw TV, I was like, oh, great, there's a career and name for the thing that I like to do. It was never, and that's also credit to my parents, they never made anything feel impossible or scary. I remember in first grade, we were writing of like, what do we want to do when we grow up?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to be a singer.
Right.
And they were like, okay, well, make sure you come up with a plan B, so
The
just in
teacher said
case.
that?
The teacher said
Oh,
that because it's really
gosh.
hard,
Yeah.
So I was like, that was the first time that had been introduced to me. And I came home and I was like, okay, I need a plan B. And my mom was like, you go tell your teacher you don't need a plan B.
You want to know why? Because she's
A.
jealous. That's when it began.
Right.
You know why? That teacher, she's jealous.
Exactly. And that is where it began. It's working out. But
you have to be. I think it was a J. Cole interview that I was watching, and he was just talking about chasing his dreams and, all the success that he's had. Long, great, successful career in music is very hard, right?
Phenomenal.
And he said, basically, you do have to be delusional about your dreams. Like,
Yeah.
you have to. Otherwise, how else are you going to make it happen? Like, you have to believe in it
Yeah.
with all your, entire existence.
100%.
Yeah. And that happened for you early on.
Yes.
You're really lucky to have had that. And you have wonderful parents.
So lovely.
Like for them to have, made sure that you stayed on track. So did they early on just start, nurturing like different programs and getting you involved right away? Or how did it work? Or did they wait a little bit to make sure this is really what you wanted to commit your whole life to?
I think my mom, because I always loved it and I'm have a big drive within me, they were always like very supportive. They were like, okay, if you want to do it, go ahead. I was in a vacation Bible school play when I was really young, playing King Darius, and someone in the audience was like, she's really funny. You should, take her to the audition for young Nala in The Lion King in New York, back when there was open calls. And mom was like, do you want to do that? I was like, yeah. So they drove me. We got there at 3:00 in the morning. We were third in line, right when all the other little black girls wrapped around the Apollo. And we got, rounds and rounds. And then I was the last 10. And I didn't end up booking that. But I was like, I love it. I love it, Mom. I love it. And so my mom literally was reading books, was trying to figure out was asking everybody, how can this happen? Because I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it.
None of your family's in the industry like that. And I love hearing this story because it shows the work and dedication your parents had to do the research.
Yeah.
To make this happen for you. And it did.
Yes.
That's
back when everyone was like, girl, don't do that. That's a lot of money.
Yes.
She's not going to do it. It's going to be something, you know, and now I get to make sure that they live a life that they love and deserve.
Wow. I'm really happy for you.
Thank
and
you.
maybe I'm speaking now, it's like my mom hat on. What a moment. Like that is, because all you like all you really want for your child is to be healthy, happy, and to live their dreams out. Like that's it. Like you just want to make sure that you can do everything you can to provide that. And so to see this right now, to know that they provided that for you.
Yes.
That is beautiful. Do they ever share what they want to see you do? Like what kind of movie? They're like, oh, this would be a great, you know, role for you, or the kind of album, or like, do they share anything? Do they project anything onto you, or not really?
My mom always wants me to do beauty commercials. She's
Yeah.
like, you're so pretty.
I
You
mean-
need to be doing Neutrogena or something.
I agree
She's
with
either-
your mother. I agree with your parents, by the way. The whole conversation. Yeah.
Thank you. So every time my mom sees like beauty now, she's like, I want you in this commercial. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Okay. Let me make sure that happens.
Yeah.
But it all the time, because I've been away from singing on the Broadway level for a while. So my parents went to go see, you know, The Wiz, and they went to go see, you know, that stuff where they can clearly see like, you know, young Black girl belting her face off. They're like, oh, well, you could have done that, you know, which they love, which I love. But I am very, very grateful because our dreams are quickly expanding. I did my first Broadway show at 10, and I was like, my dad was like, you did Broadway, time to get a new dream. So that has been our motif for, you know, it doesn't end. It's time to get a new dream.
What is your new dream right now? It's a lot. You've accomplished so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
It actually was just sparked in a meeting I had earlier today. It was PR. She was like, what are your PR goals? And but I always want to do SNL. I want to do SNL.
I love this.
So badly. I want to be a musical guest, and I would love to have fun with them, and comedy is my bag always.
Absolutely.
So
For
SNL,
sure.
I'm coming for SNL for sure. That's my new dream.
Oh yeah, your timing is good.
Okay.
But yeah, absolutely. We have to
It's
manifest.
the first time I
this.
said that out loud too, so I'm like, ah!
Let's manifest this for sure. I'm hoping, because there's a light around you. There's an aura, and really, you're very funny. Like I have enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.
And again, like for me on this side of the microphone, I don't know who I'm gonna meet and how the conversation's gonna go. You know, we see you acting a lot, and now it's like music, and you have a beautiful voice, but it's like I don't know if you're gonna be nice, and you have been extremely incredible and just so. I love it. And I want to see you continue to win, because I'm on the side of your parents. Let's be clear.
you so
Everyone
much.
is jealous. Everybody's hating on you. And I agree.
I'm gonna make this my ringtone. Whenever I wake up this morning, I'm like, Nessa, everybody's jealous. Everyone's rooting for
Everybody's
me.
jealous of you. Wow.
I love that.
Simone, thank you for taking the time to be here. And I just loved learning more about you. And I think watching you now is a little bit different, just because it's like, this has been your dream, like so early on, and I'm so happy that you were able to identify. That's so rare, but you actually did it.
With lots of help.
Lots of help, absolutely, and I love that, you know, you said that as well. But don't forget about us when, you know, you're out here. Listen, PJ life, traveling from Greece, doing a yoga session in Tuscany and Italy and whatever, and, you know, putting out music and getting the Grammy and doing everything you want to do. Don't forget about us. I'm gonna remember this conversation.
Okay.
And you know, congratulations on everything. I'm so happy for you.
Thank
and
you so
please
much.
come back.
I will.
And congratulations on Magnet.
Thank you so much.
And wait, is it real this is the last season for Bel-Air?
Yes,
season 4?
our 4th and final season.
Wow.
I know. it feels like a college experience or like a high school experience.
Oh, I love that.
You know, it's like first feels like a senior year, and we get to close it our way with dignity and writing it the way that we want to, with knowing there's an end. There's a lot of shows don't get that gift of like, you know, the end with the cliffhanger and then it's forever.
Yeah, then it's just gone and you're like, wait, didn't they say they were gonna? And then like nothing.
No.
So at least you're able to prepare and collectively, I feel like it's gonna be emotional.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
I
You know,
can
when
feel it.
you're like, oh, it's the last time.
Oh.
Or the, you know, like our first time stepping on set, you know, in this way.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
I know. I'm like, pain. I'm so
How
excited.
are you preparing for that?
I have become very tight with the writers and showrunners, and watching their dreams come true through their pen has been so lovely. And they're really great listeners, and they're like, "Who do you want Lisa to be?" And I feel like I didn't know the first, you know, with theater, I read everything the playwright has out to know their style and the voice of the characters. But with TV, they're like, "Who is she?" I'm like, I don't know, you know? So coming in with a sense of knowing, and like, I want Lisa to be very it girl in a way that she hadn't been before. I feel like she was, or, you know, we're playing her very coming into herself.
Sure.
So I want to know what like landing in a way that senior year does.
That's right.
You know, or we're growing up only growing up does. People can tell you all you want, but when you're like, oh. Yeah. I want this season to be like Lisa's.
Oh.
You know?
I love it. Can you come back soon?
Yes, absolutely.
It was such a pleasure.
Thank
you, Simone, for
you.
being here. And I wish you all the best. And please say hi to your parents for me.
Okay, I will. They're gonna love this.
Okay, good. Team parents. Thank you, Simone.
Thank you.